Every day when I get home from my office, I open the door and I hang my keys on a little hook. And if you do anything remotely similar to that, you are at risk of your car, truck, van, whatever it is, to be stolen. Thanks to this new technology that criminals are using, they're able to take that habit of you hooking a key on the door as a way of them to steal your F-150. And we're going to get all into it today. So I heard this story. I read about it. It came out a week or so ago, and the more I keep learning about it, the more interested I got. And it's interesting because us as like kind of tech forward EV lovers or, just futuristic car appreciators, if you will, we've benefited a lot from like technology making cars cooler and more fun and easier to use. But also it's made criminals, and especially in this case, have an easier way to steal your cool new car. So today I'm going to explain what the technology and tactic they're doing to steal a vehicle, as well as at least a semi-tip of how to avoid it. So I'm actually going to go outside and explain in the real world how it works. But before I do that, let me just kind of do a high-level view. So essentially, if you use a key that has like, or if your car's like a push-button start and has a feature of like proximity entrance, that's how they're stealing people's cars. And what they're doing is if your car is near the exterior of the house, they're taking that signal and boosting it to reach the car. And it's very interesting how they're doing that. So let's look. Okay, so I just wanted to show you in real life how these criminals are able to hack. It's kind of like hacking into people's F-150s. So assuming you're like me and you would hang up your keys on like a hook right outside your door, you're at risk of being hacked, essentially. So here's the key to my Jeep Grand Cherokee. And essentially what it does, it's just a fob, but to unlock, it's constantly giving out a signal that then if the car reads it, it's able to unlock. So essentially, if your keys are hanging up right inside, the signal will reach outside, which is just enough for then people to have a device that boosts the signal either to another device near the car or so far that the car is able to unlock. So here's how it works. We lock the car, it's locked. So I'm gonna go put the key in my pocket, and then all I need to do is reach for the handle, and that's enough for it to unlock. And the F-150 works very similarly. So therefore, if the signal's boosted enough, it's enough for people to get into the vehicle. Going even further, you can then get in the car and simply push the button with the car thinking that the key is inside. So the next question you might have is, well, Larry, you mostly talk about electric vehicles. Why are you really covering this? And I just kept thinking, if technology advances this much, things like our Teslas or our upcoming F-150 Lightnings are just as much at risk. So I want to show you what it's like to open the Tesla. So basically, I don't have any key on me at all, but I do have my phone. And my phone is giving out a signal, which then lets me push this button, and it's unlocked and ready to go. Now, I know and I'm hoping there's so many people whose job it is just to make sure that, sorry, this focus is so wacky, but there's so many people whose job it is to make sure that's impossible to do, but you never know. So yeah, it's like a two-man job. Someone will sneak up to the house, and if their device, it's got an antenna and a receiver, if it can reach the keys inside, it then boosts that signal enough so the person who is in the driveway can then use that proximity to enter it, as well as to start the car up and then drive it away. Now, what they do once they get the car away, I'm sure they have, I don't know, I don't really know, but they're stealing the vehicle. I'm not a criminal mastermind. I don't know what happens after you can't sell a stolen car nowadays. Like, I really don't know what people do once they steal a car. They must have if they have this technology, they must know how to re-VIN it, I guess, and maybe install new security. I really don't know what happens after they steal it. So according to the article, it actually says that they're going to load up these vehicles and then ship them overseas, which that's a crime ring. If you have an international crime ring at that point, like, dang, that's crazy. And it's happening mostly in Edmonton. So this is actually up in Canada, and I'm sure it could happen here though. So while we don't know the range of like how far that device needs to be to then boost the signal, we do know a couple ways to kind of prevent it. So one, if you could kind of keep your keys in like the center of the house, I don't know your floor plan obviously, but if you have a better place, that might help make it inaccessible. I guess also if you just don't have a proximity and or push button start, you're probably not a victim. Also, if you have a garage, you could probably just simply park your car in the garage and that's not a big deal. But the thing is, this could happen even if you're just out to lunch, right? Like if you're waiting in line to get like a sub at a sub shop. I don't know why my brain went to that, probably because I had Jimmy John's for lunch. But the person behind you could technically just sneak that in their pocket while the guy's stealing your car right out front. Like this could happen quick. That's what makes it so dangerous and scary, is this could just happen so fast that these guys don't have to like break in or do anything like that. They can not only get into your vehicle, they can drive it away with this technology, and they don't have to hotwire or do any of that stuff. Do people even hotwire anymore? Is that even possible? Probably, but so another thing that I recommend doing, if you really think you live in a neighborhood or hi Teddy, I use Apple AirTags on basically my keys and a couple other things. If you feel at risk for this, they're really cheap. They're like $25, and you throw it in your vehicle and you can trace it anywhere. So if you don't have like a built-in way of tracing your car, then this might be a way to do it. So I really recommend that. Again, like it's on my key. I have one for my wallet that I haven't really put in there yet, but like I've just AirTags on deck because I lose my stuff, and they're really cool. Like you can use them to like play a sound if like you lost your key or whatever. And I know there's other non-Apple brands too that you could get of that too. So definitely just throw that in your car if you're feeling at worry, because at the very least you'll be able to track it. Like if you just hide that under the seat or something. And I bet there's also like actual car tracing things you could buy too. So maybe look into that too. So, of course, I want to credit my source on this. This is from Ford Authority, who said they got it from a reader of theirs, Frazier. I apologize. So I found this story via them, and I just found it so interesting that I really wanted to make this video. And it's interesting, too, because, well, we talk about the Ford F-150 Lightning so much on this channel that I got to thinking, well, could that be victim of this? And I think it totally could. So although it does say that the vehicles that are at prey right now anyways are 2018, 19, and 20 models. So I don't know if they, just for that run of F-150s, were had something in their code or whatever that makes them more vulnerable to this. But when you think about it, I mean, I guess it's just more of the fob and the system. Who knows? So if it goes up to 2020, maybe they just haven't stolen a 2021 or 22 yet. My guess is they could still, like the technology is very similar across the board. So I'd assume they're just as much potential victims of it. Although now that this is on Ford's radar, I'm sure they're already thinking of ways to fix it. Take this as a now you know sort of situation. I mean, I don't think anyone really has anything to worry about. It's probably pretty sophisticated technology that they're using to boost the signal, but you never know, and it's good to be safe, right? So I just really thought this was interesting because it's like it's in our world of trucks, and it's also tech, but on the other side, because bad guys are using the tech, but they're taking advantage of some of the tech that we like. So I don't know. I just thought it was super interesting, so I thought I'd share it with you, and hopefully you guys enjoyed this, and if not, I'll be back in a couple days with just more amazing F-150 Lightning news. So thank you guys for sitting through this one. You guys are the best, and I will see you shortly. Bye.